The life we live in is such a strange one. Sometimes one will wonder how somebody who was a virgin will not be having problems conceiving, because the natural thing to think is that those who cannot have children may have committed a lot of abortions, and that's the reason why they cannot have children. Some will say because maybe they have a very tiny pelvic, that's why they're not able to conceive. But in the case where this lady was, friends with this guy, and they, Uche and Lizzie have been friends that everybody knew. They were always together in school. They were always together under the mango trees, discussing, having fun time. And then when Uche decided to leave Nigeria on scholarship because he did so well, Uche and Lizzie were always communicating through letters or through emails. And then there were no cell phones in Nigeria, and their bond became stronger. Only for Uche to return to Nigeria to get married to Lizzie. And it was a very well, planned event. People came, their ex students, like the alumni group they belonged to, they all came. It was such a wonderful event. And then Uche began to process for Lizzie's papers for them to travel to the UK. And Lizzie got her papers and they traveled to the UK. Then the first year passed, no child. The second year passed, no child. And the third year, they decided to opt for, adoption. And Lizzie was like, no, she doesn't want adoption because she knows very well how their people see adoption. That the best thing they would have rather done was surrogacy, so that it would be that Uche's blood is in the child and her own blood is in the child. Since they are a couple, let them make the babies together if she cannot carry babies. So the husband agreed with her without discussing with the parents back home, because they might not understand what that meant, what the whole story about surrogacy and adoption meant, because they already know what adoption is. And according to her, in their tradition as Igbos, they don't they don't support adoption. They will rather opt for surrogacy if it comes to that. So that was exactly what happened. They went ahead and started the processes of looking for a surrogate mother. They checked online, and it was not something that you just meet anybody. They started discussing with doctors. So the doctor now said they won't want to do surrogacy with somebody who had never given birth before, that they need somebody who had at least given birth before or had been pregnant before, and they knew and saw the person was pregnant before. That is the kind of person they need. If possible, a single mother. The single mother was because so that the lady will not be tied emotionally to the baby when it's time for handing over. Of course, they knew all that it entails. Then another thing is they discuss that the lady will have to come with her own lawyer, while they come with their own lawyer if they are. So they started the search of looking for this lady, and eventually they discussed with one of their mutual friends who agreed to help them search. This mutual friend now got this lady involved, and the lady, hearing that the guy lives in the UK abroad, she quickly agreed without knowing what it implied. And then when they sat and discussed everything with her, she said okay, she was going to do it, but that she doesn't want her parents to know. So that was what happened. So when this lady became pregnant, everybody, they started helping her, sending money to her, because they had to keep her in a particular place out of their location. When they came, they took her for the processes and brought her, because surrogacy is like the same way you do IVF, but this time it's not the woman who carries the baby, it is another woman. They will just take the eggs of the woman and the sperm of the husband and plant it in another woman. The woman now becomes the incubator who helps them incubate their baby. So that was what happened. Everything was fine. They were always coming to see her once in a while, like every 2-3 months they will come to see her. They send privileges, they send everything. They were sending things through this guy who recommended her. So until the point where she was about to deliver, they now had to work her things for her to come to the UK to deliver. When she got to the UK, to deliver. Everything was fine. She stayed at their house, and then she went to deliver. And when she got to the hospital, they checked her and saw that she was not just carrying one baby. She was carrying twins, a boy and a girl. So the man was so happy and everything was fine. So out of excitement, when she went into, they had to do a C-section for her, and then immediately she put to bed. The babies were being clean. He picked up his phone and called the landline in their state, where people usually call to drop a message. And when he called, he told them that he wanted to speak to his parents, that please they should make them available, and they agreed on a time they will make the parents available. So when they did that, the parents, came that period. They called him and he told them, he broke the news that the wife, they have two babies. So the mother was so happy and said that finally the wife had given birth. So he now said, Mama, it's complicated, but don't worry, she's not the one that gave birth, but it's complicated. So the mother wanted to know. The guy now said, no, when the mother comes from Mugo, she will know why he's saying she's complicated. It is why he says it's complicated. So about a month later, the mom came to the UK, and when she came, she had asked that why not the mother of the wife come with her. The guy said no, that let her come first. So she came, and the guy now explained everything to the mother. And because the mother was asking, what is this lady doing in your house? And he explained to her everything that happened. He said, and your wife agreed? He said yes, that they wanted to adopt. The wife now said no, that it will be better for them to do surrogacy. So while the mother now said there was no problem, so one thing led to the other. The mother now called the son and said, it's not better he married the girl instead of, and then the husband now asked, so if he marries the girl, what will now happen to the wife he had married, that he had known all the while, that this girl is just here on contract, that after this whole thing, and he only brought her here to give birth in the UK because he wants the children to be born there, not outside that she would have given birth in Nigeria, but they just wanted to be extra careful. That's why they had to do what they had to do for her to come to the UK and give birth, that the mother should not complicate things the more. So the woman insisted. The next thing she called out, she told the son she wanted to speak to the father. They did the same connection. The father now came after a week to the UK. As he came to the UK, he now told the wife, that the suggestion that the son should marry the surrogate mom is very wrong and unkind. That if she was the one whose daughter was in that shoe, we should advise the son to do that, not knowing that as a mother was putting those thoughts into his head, this guy was already falling for the surrogate mother. Only for the surrogate mother, after she had nursed the children for 3 months, she was now supposed to leave. They said no, the father said no, she should stay for at least 6 months or even a year, let the children, get used to the environment, let her so that she can breastfeed them before she goes. So the wife now said, no, Mama, that's not part of the terms of the agreement. She's not supposed to be here. Once she gave birth, she was supposed to have gone back. But we felt that because Nigeria is far, let her stay, so she's not supposed to be here. The mother insisted, so the girl stayed. Only for this girl, after these children were 8 months, she had slept with the husband and took in for the man. This is somebody that had twins and took in for the man, and that was how the man started changing in the house. He started telling her that disrespecting his wife and all of that if she's not ready to stay, she can go. So that was how everything was becoming messy. She had to get a smaller apartment and left the house and stayed in that apartment. So when she was able to communicate with her parents, she told them everything that happened, and the parents were like, what is she saying? That can she come or can they come? She now said right now she's not in a great mood to do any traveling, but that's the situation. That was how a surrogate mother took over another person's home, like a joke. A surrogate mother took over another person's home, married the man. The guy came back, returned bride price, went back to court, dissolved the marriage, and got married to a woman that was supposed to come and help them carry babies. So her parents now, did not take it kindly. But what can they do?